Okay, so greetings everyone. Welcome to one more session of the Ports webinar series. I'm Julia Marcelino, Head of Membership of the International Association of Port Development, Ports, and we're thrilled to have you with us today. Well, for those who do not know, Ports is a global platform dedicated to fostering innovation, knowledge sharing, and strategic collaboration across the port sector. As the International Association of Port Development, our mission is to connect ports, support their development, and prepare stakeholders to navigate the future of global logistics and maritime trade. This webinar series is one of the tools we use to accomplish our mission, bringing together experts, leaders, and innovators to share insights and practical knowledge. Each session is an opportunity for the global community to learn, ask questions, and engage in discussions that shape the future of our industry. Today, I'm pleased to introduce João Paulo Santana, Director of Environment at Portos do Paraná in Brazil. João Paulo is an architect and urban planner with a postgraduate degree in public management and holds a master's in international logistics and port management. He represents Brazil in PIAC's permanent working group on climate change and has been invited 6 consecutive times at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, the COP. In today's webinar, João will share insights into the recovery program for degraded areas developed by Portos do Paraná, a leading initiative that combines environmental stewardship with port development. After his presentation, we'll open the floor for questions and answers. And meanwhile, feel free to open your cameras and ask questions in the chat, and we'll get to them later. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome João Paulo Santana to begin his presentation. João, the floor is yours. You're on mute.
Sorry. Are you listening properly?
Yes, very well.
Yes? Okay. Thank you very much, Julia. Talking to you, I would like to thank Ports for the opportunity. Because this case that we are bringing to you today, for us, and when I talk us, I'm accompanied here by my environmental manager, Thales Schwanka Trevisan, who helps me in the development of the projects. Going back to the case, this case for us, it's a very special case because it's one of the cases that led us to be invited for the United Nations Conference of Climate Change, the COP, for 6 times, as you said. And not but because of that, but also because this case, it's a very special case, because we are talking about a modeling that we are developing here to avoid dredging activities, or at least minimize it. But in the same time, we are sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. We are giving soaring food for the community involved in the project. We are avoiding sediments to be carried to inside of the bay by the rain. We are recovering the forest by using agroforest systems. And what are agroforest systems? We selected species of the plants which brings economic interest for the communities that are coming together with us, and we are bringing also biodiversity to the project, and we are protecting life around the port. So I will share my screen with you. Just 1 second. Compartilha. Okay. Can you see, guys?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay.
It's just not on presentation mode. Oh, now, yeah.
1 second. I will change the slides, the screens here. Okay, is it full now? Full screen?
Yes, it is.
Good. So the project, it's called in Portuguese PRAD, PRAD, which in English is Degraded Areas Recovery Program, okay? So what are we doing? We are building forests here, yeah? So we are using agroforest systems to recover degraded areas with mimetizing the nature, okay? So this project, it's developed and built inside of the bay where we are located. But before we start, I would like to show you guys where we are located. So we are the main port of the state of Paraná. We are in south of Brazil, and we have 2 ports managed by our company. So we have the Bay of Paranaguá, which has something about 600 square kilometers of water surface. And we are surrounded by a huge mass of Atlantic rainforest, where we have more than 65 communities of traditional people and original people, also indigenous people. We have some characteristics in our port. We are a complex with 24 berths. We operate multi-cargo facilities, and last year we handled something around 65 million tons, and we are expecting this year to reach 70 million tons. In our port, we deal with different cargos. Some of them you can see in the screen. We are first in many kind of goods, and we are not the biggest port in Brazil, but probably we are the most efficient port in Brazil when you speak about the movimentation of cargo by linear meter of berths. So we are located in the city of Paranaguá and in the city of Antonina. We have two public ports, as I said before, and we are inside of probably the biggest last fragment of continuous Atlantic forest in Brazil. And we are surrounded by a very, very fragile ecosystem. And what we do in the program? The program was established as a compensatory measure of our dredging activities. So the proposal was to start to reforestation of a degraded area and monitorate the amount of sediments that will be avoided to flow inside of our estuary. And we are trying now to monitorate that, to calculate the amount that we can avoid in the future if we increase the program, if we start to build more forests around the port. So the main focus of the program is on small agricultural properties located mainly in the city of Antonina in the beginning of the project. So we are also doing recovery of legal protected areas, which are in Brazil areas that shouldn't be in the past used by any kind of human activities. Talking a little bit of dredging activities, we have in our port a channel, a navigation channel, with something about 40 nautical miles. And just in the last year, we estimated in expand the amount of about 50 million reais in the dredging activities, removing from the channel something about 3 million cubic meters of sediments that were dredged in the last year. So how we started the program? the deal with the environmental organ that gave us the license was to recover something about 400,000 square meters of degraded areas located in 4 river basins in the Antonina city. We also started to help the communities to do regularization of the documents, because we have a register which is needed to be done by all of the landowners in Brazil, in the countryside. And many of the small communities, small producers and small properties, they don't have knowledge, they don't have the money, and then they don't have, even sometimes, they don't have time to do their property regularization. So beyond of the 4,100 square meters recovered, we also helped them to do this regularization. Environmental education was also done by developing educational activities with students and with some partners of the program in the area of the program, where we did beyond the land recovered focusing in agroforestry, we remove the productivity of the land and the consciousness of the people that recovering the areas, they were not just helping us to avoid dredging activities, but also they were sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. They were bringing back the biodiversity. They were having some economical activities coming from economic species that they choose to be put inside of the program. So it's a big program, as I said before, that was not just focusing in dredging activities. So here is the access channel in different colors. We have sections, different sections, segments, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Delta is the insider one. And so here in this slide, we are showing why we choose Antonina, the port of Antonina, the area in Antonina. As it stays in the high estuarine area, is the place in the port, in the estuarine, where we have more arrival of sediments carried by the drainage of the basin of the state of the Paraná, which is located in the littoral, in the shoreline. So this area represents the highest sediment input. It is located in the innermost section of the bay, which I say is the delta segment. So the methodology that we used was conducting a comprehensive diagnosis of the area with the people. We did an approach with the communities, with the farmers, the small farmers. We did an identification of the areas with the potential to be engaged as partners with us from the port, and we selected the areas that were suitable for being recovered. So we established agroforest systems with the collaboration of the communities, as we said, our partners. So 3 steps were done: identification of partners, capacity of for building the forts for local farmers, and then we started the installation of the fort seedlings greenhouses to be the base of the program. So the methodology started as the recognition of the priority areas for ecological restoration and the capacity for building the forts for local farmers. In 2021, the project was presented to the farmers, to the partners. So we did with them the diagnosis of the territory, and we identified the partners, owners, to start the program first, because we have different situations, different characteristics of degraded areas, even one close to each other. By then, we started the implementation of the system in 2022. We started to monitor the area even degraded, and after the installation and the greenhouse for the seedlings, we started to the project properly done. So we start to do the distribution of the seedlings for the communities and teaching them the best techniques to plant them in the soil to avoid to lose seedlings, because many of the species, they are very well protected inside of the forest. They are very difficult to collect seeds to do the seedlings to be distributed. So after that, we start to receive and see the results of the program. So the program was engaged by 58 small landowners, small partners. We restored about, as I said, 4,100 square meters of degraded land, and we planted over 55,000 seedlings in those areas. So you can see in these two images in the screen different stages of the project: the preparation of the area, the preparation of the soil. And if you can see in the first image in the left, in the top of the screen, you can see that main of the biomass was not removed, was not burned, was not did nothing but rested in the soil to serve as a fertilizer, a natural fertilizer, because we are doing here a technique which is to look to the forest and reproduce what you see in the forest. So in the forest, the succession of the vegetation happens by the failing of the leaves, the wood from the trees, and that is part of the natural process of the succession of the seeds. Other results that we could see, that we could identify, was the implementation of the greenhouse for the seedlings. So we did 8. And beyond of that, the area concluded, and more than 3,000 3 million conserved areas were legalized. We did the regularization. They were in illegal terms, talking about Brazil. So in the bottom right of the screen, you can see the seedlings almost in the best time to be transported for the degraded areas and to be planted in the systems. Also, we did the start of the systems to be installed in some schools to show the children, the teenagers, the students, the technique which is necessary to be learned, especially talking about the succession of the trees, the seeds, and the seedlings inside the forest to be reproduced inside of the agroforest systems. So we did a lot of workshops, 96 especially. We did development of educational video game for schools, and also we are now showing for you the status of the program, monitoring the area where we have the agroforest systems happening. You can see different plants. We are doing continuous training for the partners. We are doing maintenance of the system, because even with all of that care, we lose some seedlings which are necessitating to be replaced, and we are trying to guarantee the recovery of the areas. And we did a step forward, and we set a scientific cooperation with university in 2022, which is a cooperation to monitor the amount of the sediments that are going to be avoided. So the university came, installed some traps for sediments, and the program is to monitor it for 4 years, these sediment traps, to identify the level of the recuperation of the forest in the program, and the amount of the sediments that would be avoided to be carried by the rain to be dredged in the future. So we are trying to avoid dredging in the future, but first of all, we are trying to calculate the amount of the forest that we could recover around the port, around the bay, around the access channel. And building forest, we can avoid dredging activities, and this is our main focus. So we compare, the university do that by modeling. We compare exposed soil, preserved forest, and areas which are under a reforest system being developed. So here we have a graphic that can show data from sediment production, and with the different colors of lines, you can see the forest protected is in the bottom line, the darker green. With the agroforest systems is the lighter green, the amount of sediments according to the time. And yellow, you can see the amount of sediments that are going to be carried to inside of the bay when you have agriculture happening in the area, in the land, in the soil. And in brown, you can see what happened when the soil is completely exposed, degraded. So we truly believe that with that program, we can avoid in the future a huge amount of sediments to be carried to inside the bay. And with that, we can avoid not just the dredging activities, but the disturbance of the aquatic environmental. And also we can avoid the pollution of the air with greenhouse gases being not sent to the atmosphere by the dredge activities. So in the QR code in the bottom right of the screen, you can access the project for receive and understand more informations. And with that, we finish our presentation. And I hope that you could understand that this is a vanguard program, as we do believe. And that's it. Thank you, Julia, for the opportunity, and we are here to receive questions if there are doubts. I hope I could. It's been a long time that I'm not speaking English, so sometimes not very sharp.
João, I'm out of words to thank you for the presentation. It fills me up with pride that that Brazil is on the vanguard of this initiative, and well, thank you so much for sharing it. People, does anyone have any questions regarding the program? Feel free to open your microphones and ask questions if you'd like to put them on the chat as well, not only in English but also in Portuguese. If you may, we are able to translate as well.
Perfect. Julia, I forget your Julia, thanks so much for your your information. I forget your name, a guy that they are presenting from Port of Paraná, from of Antonina. I think it's João
João Paulo.
João
João
Paulo.
Paulo.
Nice to meet you, João Paulo. I would say that is a beautiful product, yeah, because you are trying to combine, how can I say, a technological system that, for example, a dredging, yeah, dredging sediments with a natural system, yeah, combining forests with other areas. So it's a perfect. I think we need to think more about that. I just have one question, João, that I think is not because of the presentation, but what's the relationship between Port of Antonina with Ponta do Félix? Ponta do Félix.
Okay. Ponta do Félix is one of the companies that are set inside of the Portos do Paraná. The Porto of Antonina is a public port, as we have the Porto de Paranaguá, another public port. Both are managed by us, by Portos do Paraná. In Paranaguá, we have more than 13 companies set. In Antonina, we have Ponta do Félix.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. It's clear.
And when you say that we are in this solution using something different, I would like to say for every one of you guys that we are trying here to use solutions based on nature. This is probably the future of environmental solutions in public ports and ports, private ports around the world.
Perfect. Thank you, João.
Welcome.
Does anyone else have any other questions or comments or?
Hi guys, I do. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you, Julia and João. I would like to know what's the main reason for avoiding dredging activities, and if the same applies for Delta, which you guys have the high demand for dredging.
The main reason is because the dredge activity it's continuous, but it causes a lot of disturbance of the environmental, especially the aquatic environmental areas. So this disturbance releases a lot of sediments in the aquatic environment when the dredge activity is happening. So as we are not just a protected area when we talk about the Atlantic forest, but we are a very fragile area speaking about environment, also in the aquatic environment. So as much less dredge activities we could do here is better. So we prefer to avoid the dredge activities, not just because of the disturbance of the environment, but also because it's very expensive activity for us, for the port. And we are trying to avoid the greenhouse gas emissions also in the port. And dredge activity is one of the activities that may release greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, because we did, in the last year, we did we calculate the amount of the greenhouse gas that we emit here in our port, and one of the activities is the dredge activity.
Oh, I see. No, that makes sense. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else would like to share their thoughts or questions?
Hello, my name is Leticia. I'm from Porto de Santos. About the dredging activities, I would like to ask if there are any numbers maybe that you could review about how much you could avoid doing dredging activities by doing the reforestation project. Sorry.
So you asked the amount of the sediments that are being avoided to be dredged, yeah? Is that, Leticia?
Maybe, yes. Or maybe like for how much time you could delay the dredging activities by avoiding this sediment from getting into the sea.
We don't have yet the number because the monitoring is not finished. We are waiting. Who is monitoring for us is the university, the Federal University of Paraná State. So they are calculating, they are monitoring. They do the monitoring for the exposed soil, the agroforest system being recovered, and also in the forest untouched. But the modeling is not finished yet. So when we do have the amount that we could avoid or the time that we could be evitating the dredge activities, then we will release those informations, but we don't have it yet.
See, thank you very much.
Welcome.
João, when have you started monitoring those? You mentioned that you have started the relationship with the university in 2023, 2024.
2022.
That's wonderful.
The program started in 2021, and the monitorment with the university was 2022, and still going, the monitoring.
Wonderful.
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Until 26.
All right. Does anyone else have any other comments or questions regarding the program? Okay. I was wondering what lessons do you think are valuable for other ports that are at least considering into implementing similar projects? What lessons could you share with the community?
You know, Julia, we learned that everything in this project started as a conditionant, yeah? So during the development of the program, we could learn some lessons. It's not just the money that the port is going to save, and not just the aquatic environment that would be not disturbed, but also we are giving back sovereignty in food terms for the community. We are bringing back biodiversity for the area. We are sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. Also, we are giving dignity for the partners. They could see that the port is not a kind of big brother in the territory that is far away from them. They learned that we could be partners. We could be together in the territory. So even they being small producers, they could set partnership with a big company, public company, which in the past for them was far away from their dreams, you know. So we started to set with them relationships that could be many different programs in the future. So it's very good to see that we could care for the territory as a big player in the area. I think this is the main lesson that we could bring and share with you guys today, that even being a big port, public or private port, you could take care of the territory and be partner of the small communities.
And also, I guess, to other port or terminal to develop a similar program, it's important to do before the programs a good social diagnosis, né?
Yes.
Because it's important to know the communities that we are surrounded. So to a good program, you have to do before the
Dialogue.
dialogue.
Yes. To set dialogues with communities before any kind of project. This is very, very important for the success of the project.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess not only establishing the dialogue, but also exchanging knowledge. They have probably been living there way before the port system was installed, and now it's a beautiful project you guys
Yes.
are developing.
And it was very important also, Julia, to show them, because many of them, they were afraid to recover the area with forest. And they said, oh, in the future, I would not be able to touch the place again. And we said, no, let's set an agroforest system with plants that you could harvest in the future. You could harvest the leaves, the fruits, the flowers, the wood, the roots, you know. So you choose the species that you want, that we are going to grow them in the green forest, in the greenhouses, and we give you the seedlings. Yeah, so they started to see that a different way would be possible, recovering the area with forest, but with economical vision of it. That was very nice to see.
And with the protection of the law as well.
Yes.
That was
With
wonderful.
The paper in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
That was very good.
Have you been interacting with other ports to exchange the steps to implement this program as well?
The steps not yet, but we have been showed the program in Itaqui, in the state of Maranhão, last year, with the invitation of the Professor Sergio Coutrin from that. And we are showing this case, I think this year would be the third or the fourth time in the COP. So governments around the world are having access for it.
Perfect. So you will be at the COP?
Yeah, for the sixth time.
That's wonderful.
And the university said, the university that we set the agreement said that they did a research in the data banks around the world, and probably this is the first project of this kind in the world. So for us, it's a very nice surprise.
Well, it's a national pride.
It's a very nice. We like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Well, just to make sure, does anyone else would like to add anything to this discussion, to ask any questions to João?
Guys, I do. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just for curiosity, I've seen that you guys are very committed to the 2030 agenda, and I'm just curious, do you know in how many years you're gonna have recovered the 400,000 degraded area? Do you know in how many years you achieved that goal?
Well, to reach the climax of the forest is quite difficult to say because
Mm-hmm.
we have different species there. But to be equivalent of nature forest, well, I don't have that answer.
No, yeah, I was just curious, just wondering if by 2030 we would
No,
achieve that.
it will not be 2030, probably.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you.
Yeah, the monitoring, we are going to renew it until 2029. So we are going to be quite close of that data you say, so we can have that information in the future.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Welcome.
Difficult question.
Yeah.
All right. If no one else wants to take advantage of this special special presence and moment of this wonderful initiative, we would like to thank everyone for being here today, who joined us. If you think there's anyone that could benefit from this presentation and for this program, we are going to post it on the YouTube channel of eAport. And if you would like to know more about the program, feel free to contact us, and we will happily put you in contact with Portos do Paraná's team that is involved in this program, with your permission, João.
And just sorry, Julie, to interrupt you. Just reminding that in the end of the presentation, there is a QR code that you can reach the full program.
It's a website.
Yeah, it's a website.
If you could share the presentation with us, it will be also...
I send you by mail.
Perfect. That would be great. Well, that's it. So before we wrap up, I'm excited to share that the eAport membership season is open until February the 28th. So this is your chance to join a vibrant and growing global community of port leaders, professionals, and stakeholders. As a member, you gain access to exclusive content, strategic networking opportunities, and impactful initiatives like this webinar series. So don't miss out. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more and become part of the eAports community today. Together, we are shaping the future of ports. eAports connecting ports, navigating the future. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you, João, for this initiative sharing. And well, we hope to see you in next eAports initiatives.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, guys, for our audience.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
There's the link.
Bye-bye.
Perfect.
Thank you. Bye-bye.